Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. Those things we did not get to during the course of the show today, and sometimes they're conversations that are happening between us off the air too. And so, Betty Rock, my question to you is: we've been debating this a little bit this morning. I have a video shot that we'll get into why you're making fun of me as well. But I have the video shot. Are you going to post it? Can I send it to you, or do I need to post it?
I'm not posting it because I don't think that it's kind.
Okay, it's not that it's not kind. I want to be very clear.
I believe that it is not kind.
Right, and I think you are very wrong.
And I think that you are very wrong.
Okay, and so, all right, well, we're in an impasse here. What happened is we have a new boss coming in, and HR sent a sign, "Welcome, Jeff, to the Hope Media family." Okay, great. And so I thought it'd be funny because he's the 7th or 8th boss that we've had, and so I made a sign that says, "Welcome," and then has the names of all the bosses before him that have come and gone for whatever reason, and they were all X'd out, and then there was his name. And so Betty was like initially like freaked out about that, like, "Oh, that's going to be a problem." I'm like, look, it'll be fine. The guy should have a good sense of humor to work here. If he doesn't, then you don't want him here anyway.
But he just got hired, and it's his first day.
I know.
So he was walking in, and you're going to be like, "Oh, you didn't have a good sense of humor about this? We want you gone down."
Yes, you got to set the tone.
Do you really want that kind of welcome?
Yes. Because,
I don't understand
Because
you.
here's the deal, guys, especially radio guys, you better be able to handle a little bit of ribbing and stuff like that. Like, if you can, then you're like, good, you fit in, you work. I like that. If you come in and you're offended, then that's not going to be a healthy thing. And so fortunately, I will say this, fortunately, he was like, "I love this. This is really funny." Like he was totally good with it. So I'm right on that. And then so I'm like, okay, well, let's post it. And so I shot a video about it and stuff like that. But the reason that you are not wanting to post the video is why? Well, you said it was mean. Tell me why.
Because some of those people that are on that list
Yes.
didn't leave because they wanted to.
They didn't leave voluntarily.
Yes.
Correct.
And so also too, this guy, this new Jeff guy, he uprooted his family to a different state. Like, he's taking a big chance, and you want to encourage him. And to me,
that's how you do it with guys. That's it.
I don't
See,
agree.
nope, that's why you're a girl. You will never understand this. That's how you do it. That's how guys
by telling
bond.
him how his chances are slim to none.
Yes, that's how guys do this.
There's more value in like a joke that hopefully he sees as being this like,
right,
ha ha ha. That is reality. Like, it doesn't erase the fact that is a reality of that joke.
Yeah, it's a difficult job,
but it's something that I would personally rather be welcomed in with like a smile and a laugh, than just it's so nice to have you here.
Right.
You are so welcomed and loved, and not that that's what you did. That's not what you did.
I'm not saying that you have to greet everybody like that, because that sounds too Hallmarkish.
Right.
But I am saying that there's a compromise. There's something in the middle.
Okay.
Do you think that that's what it is to be and to work with him, though, is compromise and
in the middle?
Lack of that type of joke? That's the reality of him, though.
Yeah. Yeah. You and I are wired very similar on a lot of things, but then very different on a lot of things.
Because I have empathy for people, and I care about others' feelings.
I think that's it. Yeah, you're super empathetic, and you're super non-confrontational. But I think what you're doing is you're seeing it as a jab against all the people that aren't here anymore. Some of them left on their own, and others, it's business. That's, I guess I see it differently, because one day when I outlive my usefulness here, I will be on a board somewhere, and it's just the business. Everybody in radio understands that the reaper comes for you at one point in time, and it may not be what you wanted or your timing, but it's just the way it is. And as guys, we all understand that.
If you're so confident about what you did, then why do you feel like you need to justify it?
Oh, because I like to share all of this stuff with people with our potties. Like, I'm not justifying it at all. Like, I stand by it. I'd do it again tomorrow without hesitation until I get in trouble. This is the funny thing. HR will get mad at me because they sent the sign that I covered. And so that's the irony of this, is I won't get in trouble from Jeff. Anybody else, HR will be like, that was our sign. That's disrespectful. But I want to bring it up at the next big company meeting.
Well, and before potties think, "Oh, wow, he's so cool. Let me put you in your place."
Yes.
So Wally is so proud of himself for this trick that he did that he had to document it on social media. And so he's in here. He's taking a picture of the piece of paper that he hung on this new guy Jeff's door.
That was more dismissive than my joke. This new guy, whoever he is, Jeff.
So he's in here in the studio, and Wally's got his phone out, and he's talking in it. And
I'm trying to do a voiceover.
And he's trying to do like a voice, but he has to say the same thing over and over. And he's like, "Hi guys."
No, I didn't.
Wally.
Hi guys.
And then he'd be like, oh shoot. And then he'd have to start over. Hi guys.
No.
It's Wally.
Okay.
And then he'd do it and he'd mess up again. And you'd see it was like watching a teenage girl that can't get just the right pronunciation.
It is analogous to hi guys, but I did not say hi guys. Hey
you
y'all.
Might as well have.
I know, but it was the same thing of like trying to get the voiceover
and
where I wanted it.
What makes it even worse is that I called him out on it, and then you get embarrassed and you go to our office and we hear you in the back going, "Hi guys."
I never said hi guys.
Yes, you did.
I did not. But
yes, you did.
I did not.
Yes, you
did.
But
I did not.
You might as well have.
I might as well.
What I'm saying.
Yes, but I did not.
You're like,
but
hey, it's Wally.
No, I didn't even say that.
Tootsies.
I said so. Betty Rock didn't want us to do this
joke. It's so funny.
But I was testing the voiceover feature of this app that I got, and I liked it.
Hi guys, it's Wally.
Get ready with me. You see how I eat breakfast?
Yeah.
Look at the funny thing I did. Like and comment.
Validate me.
Please tell me how funny I am.
Okay, don't you get on this, Gavin.
No, sorry.
It's not safe for you yet.
It was enticing.
I have to put up with her.
Hi guys.
Yes. All right. Let's get into some of the other stuff today. We were talking about that.
Notice how I changed the topic now.
Well, no, we've done 6.5 minutes on it. So figures. It's done.
He feels beat down.
Yeah. So we talked the other day about the writer's strike, and Universal noticed the studios noticed they were being picketed, and writers and actors were hanging out under the trees out in front of their building to escape the heat. And I guess Universal didn't like that, so they're like, we'll send a message to them. So they had all their trees pruned so there was no more shade, and it wasn't the time of year that they prune, and they did it just to jab the people striking and make it not comfortable on them.
Which, I mean, this story came out and I thought, I mean, you could read into it and you could think, yeah, they did this out of spite.
Yeah.
But now we're finding out that is actually the case.
Oh, absolutely. They got fined for doing it from the city because they weren't supposed to or something.
Yeah.
And they pruned them so far back. But the fine is $250. That's not even one person's lunch in upper management at Paramount.
$250 fine.
Yes.
That's petty on the city's part.
Yeah, so $250 fine. How long is it going to take those trees to go back? Like, they still won. The studio still beat you. If you're
and I just can't believe that men in that seat of leadership are that petty.
Yes.
And are willing to go out there, call someone to find someone to prune those trees, and are willing to pay $250 just to get their point across.
They did not call anyone themselves. They delegated that to an assistant for sure. They're like, I see the meeting.
To
I see
an
it happening.
intern.
Oh yeah, I see the meeting happening. They'll be like, all right, you know what? We're going to teach them a lesson. Go, Jenkins, go get those trees pruned. I don't care what it costs. Get them pruned. I want them pruned by the end of the day. You know what? Not even by the end of the day. I want them pruned by noon when the sun is the hottest. Like, that's how guys work, and how guys are super
Vengeful?
conflict, very conflict non-averse sometimes. And I 100% see that happening. I would have been like, you know what? Go cut all the trees down.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
cut them down.
That's ridiculous.
Set up like heaters outside.
Yes, exactly.
I think you can't just stop with the shade, because they'll just bring umbrellas.
Gavin gets it. How do we set that concrete on fire? That's how you do it.
Install heaters in the concrete.
I saw this article. The Earth is screaming at us. It's from the governor of Washington State, and he's like, "The Earth is screaming at us. We must, and voters must reject climate deniers like Donald Trump." And he's using the heat wave as an example of climate change. But here's what I love. And he's making his point. But here's what I love about the irony of this. What did climate change used to be called?
Global warming.
And so they got away from global warming because then anytime it was cold, everyone on the other side would go, it's cold. There's no such thing as global warming. So they go, okay, it's climate change now. So now it can be for any temperature that we don't like, and then we'll do this. And so he's doing exactly what everyone else on the other side did when it was cold. They'd be like, there's no such thing as climate change or global warming. So he's doing the exact same thing that they're doing, but now he's all indignant about it, and he's turned it into, I mean, it is a political thing. I mean, we just came off of record snowfall out west. I mean, it socked them in, and it was snowing late into the season.
Really?
California had some of the most snow they've had in 15 years or 20 years. It was crazy. And so it hurts their global warming argument or their climate change argument. And so I don't believe that the earth is screaming at us at all. I think it's balancing itself. I think the earth has always done this. The earth, like, we don't even talk about the hole in the ozone anymore. Remember that? Do you remember that when you were younger? Yeah, exactly. There's a hole in the ozone. We're all going to die, and it's heating up the earth, and polar caps are going to melt, and we're all going to die. And I get you do need to be mindful of what we're doing.
Yeah, we need to be responsible.
100%. We should be good stewards of the resources and of this earth. Absolutely. But it's such a polarizing issue. And I do believe that regardless of our best efforts, the earth is cyclical.
Yeah, it can't sustain forever.
Right. And it goes through its things. And so when it gets out of balance, the earth balances itself back out, you know? And I don't think that there is the climate stuff is such a bigger conversation than the United States. We always think that we are the world leader and we're everything, but climate change is completely dependent on a bunch of other countries and third world countries that have no standards and just destroy everything they touch because they live from a different mindset. And until you get those people in line, no matter what we do here, it's not going to make a difference because they're so bad at pollution and they're so bad at destroying
and
things.
Too, like, I mean, we get yelled at, preached at and all that, but when you see videos of third world countries, I mean, it is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Like, that's what needs, we've done a good job. Where are we there yet? No, but what really, truly, if you really want to affect climate change overall, you have to deal with the other countries. China. You have to deal with China.
Or where we were in
Kenya.
When we went to those slums.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's bad.
It was bad. Like 3/4 of the river, or whatever you want to call it, was taken up by piles of trash that pigs and goats were just laying on and eating off of.
Oh, yeah. India is another big culprit of production that is, you know, if you want to say killing the earth, you could say that, but they are part of that. And then I think what's really frustrating, though, is then when you look at the numbers on recycling and how much we recycle every year, but how much actually gets recycled from all the stuff we put in, because we try to be good stewards and fill up our bins. And then when you find out they're not doing much of recycling and companies aren't buying much recycled products, it's really disheartening. To the point where you go, why should I be doing this? You know, I still do because it's like it's not that big of a deal to throw it in another bin. But to me, it's like, if you're going to say this matters, you better be better at it on your end as the country. You know, it was just like after 9/11, I was working at Radio Disney in California. And they made us go through security checkpoints they never had before. So now they were having us, before we went to work, walk through a line, be scanned, have our bags completely checked. And then they did that for people. And they've been doing that for years. They have really new technology now that I probably is using AI. And it's great. You can just walk through and it can detect things. You don't have to have your bag searched much anymore. Wow. It's really cool. But the guy opened one zipper of my bag and I was like, all right, you're good. And I stopped him and I made everyone behind me mad. I'm like, no. I said, if you're going to do it right. You know, if this is to be, honestly, to keep us safe and not the illusion of safety, check every pocket. Like, don't just waste my time to do lip service for it. Check every pocket. I sat there while the guy checked every pocket. And I know I made people mad behind me, but I'm like, that's the point. Like, stop doing things just to look like you're doing things. That's what drives me nuts. The hypocrisy of that. If you're going to do it and you say it's important, do it. Recycling. If you say it's important, if it's going to save the earth, then please, by all means, follow through on your end and recycle the stuff that we are sending you. So there you go. All right, that's mine. I'm off my soapbox. Lady Rock, what you got?
All right. So a former Disney World cast member posted a couple of videos, viral videos. He was like, hey, guys.
No, he wasn't.
It's
Stop it.
Chad. And I just wanted to share with you something. Anyways, he revealed something that I didn't really put two and two together on. He said that if you go to Magic Kingdom, you might notice that you don't see janitors walking around carrying trash bags like garbage and everything because it ruins the magical experience.
And there are trash cans everywhere.
Yeah. So he explained how that's done.
Have you ever seen a janitor move trash through the park? The answer is no. That would destroy the magic. Every trash can that you see is not actually a trash can, but a chute that goes directly into Disney's trash compactor system called the Utilidor.
Yeah,
the Utilidor.
The Utilidors are the underground cavern, or not caverns, but tunnels that you walk through as a cast member, so that no one sees you, and you can get all over the park from there. And so the trash drops down into a vacuum chute.
So you have to walk through the trash?
No, it's its own thing. It's its own tube. It's like a trash chute, and it goes its own tube, and it's vacuumed, and so it goes to where it goes. Wow. But it's above you as you're walking. It's a series of pipes. It's basically a tunnel. And you walk in this tunnel. What's fascinating about Disney is the tunnel system that is below the park is actually where Walt
Disney is buried.
Probably so.
Hopefully.
Frozen.
No.
His head is there.
Yes, it's actually ground level. The whole park was built up above it because they couldn't dig down because of the water table in Florida. So what you think is a tunnel is actually the entire park is built on top of these tunnels.
Wow.
So I have a lot of Disney knowledge. I worked there. My wife loves it. Daughter worked there.
Yeah.
I get people sometimes too. They're like, "Why are you talking about Disney so much? You know about the gays, right?" I'm like, "Okay, I know." And so I don't support the things that are against my beliefs with that. And trust me, I know this because my stock is dying. But there are things that I still really love about the parks.
Another thing that this former Disney World cast member revealed was how you could easily get fired from Disney.
You wake up one morning and you call in sick, and then you take your employee ID card and you go to Magic Kingdom and you use it to get free entry into Magic Kingdom. Well, the mouse knows that you called in sick, cross-references your sick day with the free entrance at the gate of Magic Kingdom, and guess what? You're fired and escorted off the premises before you even ever make it to Space Mountain.
As they should. Like, absolutely they should. If you're calling in sick and not doing your job and you're taking a day off to go to the park, you should be fired for that. Come on.
Yeah.
That's so entitled. Like, my daughter works there. My daughter, she would have people my daughter always, like, when she gets in a company, she works hard and excels, but she has people that would like just not show up for work and things like that, and then they'd lie about it and stuff. And like, I'm like, no, you cannot do that. I remember one day we went to visit her and she was not having a good week. Like, she was kind of missing us and stuff like that. And she wanted one more day to hang out with us. And she's like, I could call in sick. I'm like, absolutely not. And you know the answer to that. And she's like, I know, but I really miss you guys. I said, I love you. I miss you immensely.
But I can't spare any more money today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm broke. You bled me dry, kid. I'm leaving. But no, I'm like, like, I didn't raise you like that. And you know that the other people that do this, they leave you high and dry, and it's frustrating. And so absolutely not. I love you. I will see you in a few months,
Well, here's another reason as to how you could get fired.
Continuity is something that Disney World takes very seriously. For example, my uniform was all gray. I worked in Tomorrowland at Space Mountain. If I decided to get hungry and go to Frontierland and walk to another land dressed in uniform, they would fire me on the spot.
Yep, absolutely. It destroys the magic. Because Frontierland is all Frontier Days and stuff like that. And so the characters, all the costumes are different. And so that's where you walk. They have backstage, they call it. And it's all these, you can get all around the park through the backstage. And so that's what you're expected to do. And so, yeah, if you see somebody in the wrong costume, yeah, you can get let go for that.
But is there any excuse as to when you could do that?
No, there's like never a thing. Like, okay, so we were there one day with my daughter, and she's not in uniform because she had a day off. We're in the Magic Kingdom. And I said, well, why don't you, we were trying to meet her somewhere. And I'm like, well, why don't you just go backstage? It'll be faster and like cut over that way. And she was like, no, I'll get fired. I'm like, what? She's like, if I'm backstage out of uniform, then I'll get fired. Or at least written up. And so like, if she's not supposed to be there that day working, she would get written up.
Well, I guess they can make those rules because they probably have people there just having to turn down all the time for like internships or jobs.
They have 65,000 employees or something in Florida alone. So it's funny though, because when I worked there, I was kind of a caveat. I worked for ABC at Disney, and so Disney technically didn't own me at that time. Now Disney owns ABC. And so I was a hybrid, and so I would just walk backstage, or I would walk wherever I wanted to walk, and if anyone ever questioned me, I was like, I work for ABC. And so then they would leave me alone. But yeah, I did. She was like, well, you could get away with that. And because I just walked like I knew where I was going. We were very confident. You know, she would be like skulking back there, like running to different pillars, trying not to be caught. And I just walked straight through, you know. So
it's a wonder you weren't fired.
It is.
Wait,
honestly.
Were you?
That's a great
gray area. No,
it's a great.
I was not fired. What happened
per
was
se.
I really wasn't. What happened was me and my partner had been approached to replace a Heritage radio morning show on a rock station, and it was a huge deal, multi-million-dollar deal for us. Okay, so we negotiate for a bunch of months, get the price to where we're like, okay, we'll take it. So the show that we were replacing was retiring, and the GM at the time says, I need to know that you can get out of your contracts before we sign all this stuff, because he didn't want to go through all this and then all of a sudden we can't get out of our contracts or it's illegal. So we have to go to our company, which was Radio Disney, and say, hey, look, we've got a great opportunity. This has been fun. We think our course it's run its course. We would really want to do this. Will you let us out of our contract? And they were like, all right, yeah, we'll let you out of your contract. We don't want you here working upset, and this is a big money deal. So fine. So we do this. So then I think it's maybe a week later, I get a call back from the GM of this other rock station that goes, hey, the guys that you were replacing, because they hated each other, they decided that they could stand each other and they're not going to retire, and because they were making gaggles of money. And he's like, I'm not firing them. They're 50% of our revenue. When they were retiring, that's one thing, but I'm not firing them. And so we go, okay. So in the space of a one phone call, a 5-minute thing, I lost $1 million+ like that. Gone. Like how, I mean, the story of what could have been kind of thing. Ooh. Yeah, I was looking at buying a helicopter. Oh. I'm not making this up, so that I could commute a small helicopter, because I didn't want to move to LA and I had an hour commute. I was looking at that, and I was looking at how I could actually build a pad on the back of my house to go from place to place. That's how serious this was. I mean, millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. And so it was just gone like that.
It was just like evaporated.
I can't imagine my stomach dropping any faster.
Yeah. Me and my partner just look at each other like, well, now what do we do? So then we go back to Radio Disney. We're like, hey, funny story. Gotcha.
Today's opposite day.
Yeah, exactly. Remember how we said our time was done here, and we were like, we love it here. You guys are the best.
Where are my mouse ears?
And at that point we knew, because they're like, well, you're not committed to this, and you guys, we're going to save a bunch of money, because they were paying us really well.
Yeah.
Like we were making together what probably 10 or 15, 20 people were making. Like it was sick. And so like, it was sick, but I don't regret it. It's what let me come here, and I actually struggled for a while. And so what happened is they were going to let us work out our contract, and instead they came and let us go early. So technically we were let go, but they paid out our contract. I think they let us go like 3 months early or something like that. So we weren't really, it's pretty standard operating procedure. You don't want someone on the air that isn't going to be there, because you always fear what they're going to say or what they're going to do, especially in mainstream radio. Like normally the way it happens in mainstream radio is you finish your show on Friday and you're like, man, that was a great show. That was fun. I can't wait for the weekend. And then your boss goes, hey, can I get 5 minutes with you before you head out? And you, oh yeah, no worries. And you walk into his office, he shuts the door and he's like, all right, we're going in a different direction. Today was your last day on the air. And you're done. And they're like, clean out your stuff. And if you've had a good relationship, they give you an hour. If you have a bad relationship, there's officers, and you're out that day.
Nice.
That's why you're so damaged.
I know. Yeah, this business damaged me, man. I knew a guy that got divorced and fired on the same day. He came back from vacation. He did like a guy's trip. Came back from vacation, did his show. He got fired on after the Friday show, went home to tell his wife that he had just been fired, and she served him with divorce papers.
Wow.
Like That's a bad day.
Doesn't get worse.
No, it does not get much worse than that from a professional standpoint. Yeah, it was a rough world, man. It was very unapologetic, very cutthroat, and that's why back to the sign from the very beginning of this thing, that guys understand that's the way this job is, and you're gonna lose your gig eventually, and it happens.
But you shouldn't lose it over a dumb sign that doesn't need to be posted anyways.
If I got fired for that sign, do you know how happy I would be to get fired for that? Like, that's a story I would tell for years, and I would tell
while you're living in a cardboard box, homeless.
And I would be thrilled.
No, you would not. That is so stupid.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great radio story. Like, that's how...
You won't have a station to tell it on.
I'll tell it in the press. No. That's the thing I always love.
Hi, guys. I have a story.
I always love when people, like on American Idol, are like, you've not seen the last of me when they get sent home. Like, oh, yeah, we have. We totally have. Or the people that when they get fired are very indignant and they're like, you know what? I'm going to go to the trades and I'm going to tell everybody what you've done.
That's you.
But no one cares. I know that no one cares. Like, I'm smart enough to know that. Like, when I get fired from here, it'll be a week of maybe a couple people going, oh, that stinks. Where'd he go? And they go, oh, he got fired. Oh, I see that. And that'll be it. I did get let go once, and we had people protest the station with signs and everything to bring us back, and it lasted all of a day and a half, and then they got hot and tired and went on. I thought it might, maybe we'll get reinstated. No, not so much. I realize that you are a product.
Nope.
Yeah, you're a product, and you're only as good as your expiration date. So I don't know when mine is, but I do have one.
What a fun game.
I know. That's just
Isn't it going to be funny when this new Jeff guy comes to you with a cardboard box? Yes. And then that's your new home.
Yeah, that would be so funny. Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome.
You look out for the office?
I am. I'm looking over there to see if he's in his office.
Like, hey guys.
Hey guys.
It's Wally.
Are you gonna title this one, Hey Guys?
You should.
It's already
Hey
there.
guys. I wish you could say
caps.
it in that kind of voice.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. Do you have birthdays?
I don't.
Okay.
But I have a question. This one is from Abigail. So her question is, if the three of y'all had to switch places, so you're switching with me and you're switching with Gavin.
Sure.
For a day, what would you do?
Oh.
If I'm Betty, I would leave the house.
What? I don't want to leave the house.
Exactly. I would go and I would do everything that scares me.
No.
And I would offend people.
No.
Yes.
That would be my worst nightmare.
I would cause so much chaos and drama. It's like those movies where they switch bodies and then they switch back and you're like, what was the repercussion? Like, I would love to just go up and blow up your world. And then you switch back the next day and everyone's like, gosh, Betty's the worst. Like, that would be so awesome. For Gavin, I would like to be him, and I would like to let him know what it's like to go 8-9 hours without tinkling. I would do you a solid.
I have to pee so bad right now. So
I know. I figured we're going to go longer. All right, Gavin,
funny.
You could switch with me and Betty. What would you do?
I guess if I were you, Betty, I would just eat a ton of food and not feel bad about it because you're skinny. And every time I eat a lot of food,
that's more for you though. Like,
am I doing this for the person?
No, you would do it either way.
Oh, so I just looked at the negative.
Yeah, you went for the negative.
I did.
Because if I was in Betty's shoes, if I was Wally, now I'm thinking of the negative.
Yeah,
I would. I really don't know because I can't get as devious as you when it comes to your decision making.
It's a gift.
Oh, I would probably send really heartwarming emails to all sorts of people and explain how much I appreciate
and how much
them
I miss them and I just need
them.
to I want to share my feelings with you and you with me. Yeah, that's funny.
Stop by the station on
and then I'm just getting
day.
blown up with people like, oh my goodness.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that is funny. Lady Rock.
I think if I were Gavin, I love that idea of holding my pee until I'm going to explode.
Yes.
Just to show you that your bladder is capable.
It's possible, yeah.
Your bladder is capable. Have faith in your bladder.
Does it matter?
It does. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big deal.
It doesn't destroy us.
And then I think I would shave my beard and my head.
That would be funny.
That's pretty bad.
That would be funny too because that's something that doesn't just change back instantly. And so
it takes
hosing
a while.
them like me having to deal with people's feelings, you being bald and no beard.
Oh, no.
Betty
Wally,
causing chaos and having people hate her.
You, Wally, what I would do is I would eat a lot of food.
Yeah.
And then I would also shave my beard and my head.
Yeah.
And then I would also spend every ounce of money that is available to me for
My whole
everything
retirement.
I
Is that all
want.
your stuff?
Yes.
And I would sign my name to the will.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
My whole retirement gone in one day.
Oh, and then I'd change all your passwords.
That's just mean. I can handle everything else, but that would send me through the roof.
Yeah, that's what's great about it.
All right, that was a fun little exercise. That's going to do it for your Aftercast for today. And as always, thank you so much for being one of our amazing...
Wow.
Don't hold us up. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I was trying to hit 30 exactly.
I just want to tell you, it's me, Wally. Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.